So now that we have created this Choco directory, let's go inside the Choco directory. So we'll give a cd command. So go to Choco, and of course there's nothing inside, so the ls command doesn't show anything. So what we would like to do is we want to create an empty file, and we'll use that touch command to do that. So the format is simple, touch file name. So we'll do a touch and say my file txt. So now file an ls command. So you can see there is a new file called myfile.txt. You can fire ls.lh, and you can see that this is an empty file. So that's why its size is 0. Now that we have created an empty file, what we will do is we'll write some text into that file. So to write text into the file, if it was a Windows, then we will open a notepad, and using the notepad, we can write text into a file and save it as a file name. In a shell environment, you don't have those notepad kind of a window. So what you have to do is you have to write it inside the shell, and there are many text editors for the shell that we can use to do this basic editing. One of them is called Nano. I chose this because this is the easiest one to learn. So we can fire in a Nano command and then just type in the file name, so which is myfile.txt. So once you do that, it will open up an editor. And if you look at the header, so this is a GNU Nano. This is a software or an editor for the shell, and your file name is file myfile.txt. And this is very easy to use. You can just start typing. So I am Choco, and I am here to learn Unix or Linux. Once you have done that, you can save this file. So right now this is not saved yet, and the Nano editor is pretty handy for making minor edits or make some file changes. The shortcuts are listed below. So here you can see at the bottom it says Control O to write out, which means it will write whatever you have. So Control O, and it's asking me for file name to write. I'll just use the same file name. So it just wrote everything. So it says wrote 5 lines right in the bottom, and you can exit the file by using a Control X command. So this is the exit. So Control X, and we are back into the terminal. And now you can type in ls.l. You see there is some size to the file, 43 bytes. So now this file size is 43. To view the contents of the file, you can open up with a Nano editor. That is one way to do that. Then you will be in the editing mode. But you can also view it using the cat command. The cat basically displays the contents of a file. So if you run a cat and type the file name, so it will spit out the contents of the file in the console. So basically it will show you the contents in the standard output. So standard output means the shell command prompt. So it will spit everything out that is there in that file. So cat can be used in that way. There is an option for numbering the line numbers in cat. So you can use a cat with an -n option, and what it will do is it will number the lines, which line number that is. Sometimes it's useful, but it's up to you. Now what we'll do is, now that we have created one file, let's create another file. So I'll do a touch file2.txt, and I'll use a Nano editor to write something in this new file. So I am file2.txt. I am here to help you copy, and I'll press Control O. So file name, just write it using the same file name. I'll press enter and then Control X to exit. So now I should have 2 files. Let's create another directory. So I'll do mkdir subdirectory, say it's called pizza. So we created a new directory called pizza. Let's list it. So now I have file 2, my file, and pizza. So these 3 files are there in this current directory, which is Choco. Now what I want to do is, the reason why I created these multiple files is just to show you some examples of move and copy commands. So we will learn these two commands together. So move is designated by mv command. So it is used to move or rename, and the format is move. Then you have to type in the source from which and destination to which you want to move it. Same thing with the copy command. It is designated by cp, and the format is you cp from the source, and you has to specify the destination, and you will copy from the source to the destination. So let's use it. We'll try the copy command first. So cp, and say I want to copy the file2 and to a file3. So I'll do a file2.txt and then type in the destination, which is file3. So this is a new file, and it will create it for us. And now let's list ls-l. So you see there is a new file called copy file3, and it is identical to file2 except its name. So that's why the sizes are the same, because the contents of these two files are the same. In the same way, let's copy the my text file, my file.text. So we'll do a cp my file.txt to my file, or maybe my second file.txt. Let's do a list. So you see there is another file called my second file.txt. It is identical to my file, and it has the same size. Now say if you want to copy this file into the pizza folder. So I want to make a copy of this file and inside the pizza folder. So what I can do is the copy command can be used in path as well, which means that I can define a source, which is my file2, and then I can use a path. P is a pizza. So what I'm doing is I'm copying this text file into the pizza folder. So once I execute ls, so ls-l, and now let's look at what is there inside the pizza folder. ls-l pizza. So now you can see there is a file called myfile.txt inside the pizza folder. You can navigate into the pizza folder and then list. You can see there is a file called my second file.txt. Let's go back one step up. So I am back in the Choco folder. You can try to see the tree structure. You can just fire in just a simple tree in the home directory, and it will tell you how the structure is. So you have these 4 files in the current directory. Then you have a pizza folder or a pizza sub directory, and then inside that you have this text file. So what if now you want to copy the pizza folder into another folder? Say I can still use the copy command. I have a pizza, and say I want to make a new directory and identical to pizza, and say I want to call it pizza and macaroni. So once I try to do that, it will give me an error, because this is a directory. When you want to copy a directory, it gets confused because this directory is not empty. It has sub files inside it. So what we need to do is, along with this, when you copy a directory, you have to give an option called R. R is basically a recursive option. What it means is that you are instructing the cp command to copy contents of this pizza folder recursively, meaning if it has a subfolder or a subdirectory or a file, it will recursively copy everything, all its contents, until it copies each and everything. So once you do that, then you are able to successfully copy. So now you have a macaroni sub directory which is identical to the pizza directory. You can list the macaroni directory, and it has that file that is there in the pizza directory. Copy and file commands are very similar in their usage. So let's look at some examples of move command. So if you want to run a move command, what you do is you can type in mv, and same thing, you use a source. So say for example, I want to copy this move file2.txt into the macaroni folder. So I'll do a file2.txt, use tab and do macaroni, and it is already moved. So you can fire a list command. You see you don't have the file2 in the current directory anymore.